Hey everybody, welcome to Offshoot Comics Off Topic. We're your hosts, Kirby Kid,
Like Superman,
Simply Cedric.
also known as David Clark.
Walter Bryant.
Cedric Harris.
Yeah, I know the pandemic has been crazy, but we got to get better at this. That was horrible. Y'all were
I
all
was
slow.
good.
Y'all were
I didn't
slow.
come
You
out
were the
slow.
worst though. You,
I was on.
I think I hated you most of all, Cedric.
I was on. I don't know about you guys.
Anyways, guys, we're going to talk about some things that came out in the last 24 hours, namely the Snyder Cut and then the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, Walter, I'll leave it up to you. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Great. All right. Right out the bat. I mean, I actually enjoyed it. I think it's pretty cool. Glad the War Machine was in the first few minutes. That was cool. I'm glad they had their black people talk. So that was cool.
The
But
sidekick talk.
one thing I am tired of in all superhero media is when the females in these heroes' lives like to equate their petty struggles with the person who has to go fight space demons and aliens and
Yep.
literal wizards. Like, I had to hold this boat together for 5 years. Oh, I fought Thanos.
She literally
Fought-
said it.
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Also
They,
got turned to dust. Let's not forget that. For 5 years I was dust.
yeah, and and I know there are some people who are like that, but I haven't met most people who would equate their struggle of holding together a family business with having to literally try and fight to prevent half of all of existence from disappearing.
Yes.
Really?
After being on the run, after fighting for the freedom of people to not have to be forced to fight the government if they have powers, after the Civil War. Like, he's done a lot of things. And then was
Really?
dead for 5 years.
You don't know anybody like that? You've
No,
never
no, no,
heard
no, no, no.
anybody.
No. I know people like that. I don't know. Most people that I know are not like that. But I
I
do
would
know
say
people
that
like
a
that.
good. I'd just say a good 40% of this world, this country is like that.
Oh,
You
no,
know,
for
people
sure.
people who
Oh
say
yeah.
things like, "My not being able to curse on your page is like slavery."
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. But,
You know
yeah,
that was said to us in real life.
yeah. But no, it is frustrating that like the people like it happens like in every superhero media. The only like there's very few partners like in social media who are are in superhero media that aren't like terrible, Like Lois is down because I mean, she knows that her dear dude is not an actual person, more of a concept who can't be hurt because he's not really interesting at all. But she's not really worried. But some people just, I mean, the worst offender is Black Lightning. I hate Lynn with a
Oh
passion,
my God, yes.
with a burning passion. Like,
And her
I
brother's
can't.
about to become Green Lantern.
It's like I can't watch you do this. Really? It's hard for me to actually get hit in the face. It's hard,
Yeah.
but other than that, though, I did like it. I like the action scene in the beginning, and it's good to see Falcon fighting against regular people, just to remind you that like how much better he is than regular people. Because like we're so used to seeing him fight with like other godlike beings that
Yeah.
we forgot what it's like against regular people. I thought it was hilarious that the criminals were going to. They thought their plan was they were going to outrun Falcon by gliding out of a plane.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious too.
that's literally his thing. Like,
Yeah. Like literally.
he spends more
And
time in the air than some people spend on ground.
Yeah.
look, I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite parts about this whole thing to start off is Marvel is a little bit unrealistic about how people who are getting shot at react to things. Falcon killed a lot of people.
A
I
lot.
mean, he killed a lot of people, and
Yeah. There's
that's
the body
really
count.
what you would do in the middle of in the middle
Yeah.
of a warfare trying to stop people from taking a prisoner to Libya. You're not going to put them in nets. You're going to kill them,
Oh
and
yeah,
you're going to
no,
kill them
no, he
quick.
kills them. Yeah. Well, because remember, like he's actual military. He's like Captain America.
Yeah.
Like they're in the
Air
actual
Force.
military.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Their job is to murder the enemy. But yeah, I did like it was really cool to just to see all the the really cool action scenes and how he was willing to just blow up people. And honestly, because I think this takes place like what, a few weeks after Endgame. After you fight Thanos' army, everybody else must look like they're just standing still, dude. Like they must look like they're just not a threat at all.
I think he said it was a couple months he's been with the Air Force when they were in the cafe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either weeks or months, but
So I think this is happening right after WandaVision, I think, because WandaVision I think was 3 weeks after Endgame.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that seems to line up.
Yeah, but they're still at that place where, people who had been living their lives or no, they're past that place where like people who've been living their regular lives for some reason have come to the conclusion that fighting Thanos and dying was not as hard.
Right. They're like,
I mean,
we
think
went.
about like, yeah.
What?
I was like, think about how many people, even in WandaVision, were like, yeah, you weren't here after the blip, and we had to keep things together. I get that, I really do. And then like they talk about their director was talking about how the people who came back, the superheroes who came back, they're just like, you just moved on with your lives. No, life moved on without me. I've got my own problems, dude. So,
Right. And they came back and immediately had to fight Thanos. Like, hey, good news,
Well,
you're
yeah.
not dead. Also, fight Thanos, please. Again.
Yeah, the guy who killed you.
Yeah.
The guy who killed you is now waiting to fight you again.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and he's slightly younger and probably therefore now more powerful.
Right.
But yeah, though, like it's just also another thing. That scene when they were in the bank is probably the most black experience thing I can think of. You can literally a superhero who saved literally half of existence, and they will still find reasons to not give you a loan.
Well, the loan, and I liked when him and his sister were arguing. She's like, "Are you gonna do this to me just over something like that?" He's like, "Yep."
Yeah. Like, look, man, this man's name is Clarence. All right, he is serious. He has come a long way. He has come a long way to make mine.
Yeah.
He is definitely upgraded.
Well, and part of me wanted it to just start off with him with the shield and the adventures of Bucky and Falcon, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad where they started because they're trying to unpack the snap and Bucky being an assassin for years.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which I like how the what do you call it, the psychologist is like getting on him for not wanting to open up. First off, he has been not dead for only a few weeks now. Okay, he was dead. He is now back, and he has had more time as a mind-controlled assassin than you've had time.
Yeah.
Like, give the guy a week. And I like how he's like, I was happy in Wakanda. Like, I was good there.
Yeah. Life was simple.
And then Thanos happened. He was like, yeah, when I was with the black people, things were good. Now I'm back with y'all white people. And everything is pain and confusion.
Yes.
No, but dude, well, one thing I liked though was the reveal that, because at first I thought when he was hanging out with the Japanese guy, I thought that was just like a friend from when he was young. And when you find out that it's because it's the dad of the guy he killed in the past, I was like, oh no, oh please don't tell him that. Your friends, please just go to the grave with that secret.
He's probably gonna find out.
Yeah, he's gonna find out. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I'd be like, I was mind controlled by Hydra, people who brought down Shield. So I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that.
No, you still had a choice.
Yeah, and then when I had a choice, I helped fight Thanos. So you're
the mind
welcome.
Yeah.
I think if you were a criminal and then you helped fight Thanos and then like we won, I feel like they should just give you an automatic like you get a pass. Like we're starting over.
The therapist did mention his pardon, which I'm glad they at least got that in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but his pardon is dependent on him not doing the only things he's good at.
Yeah, he's still gonna do it.
Of course he is. That was actually one of the few things that there was there was a bit of slowness in the middle there, but one of the things I really disliked was the fact that while he was explaining what he did to this senator that he had put into office, instead of showing just showing that as a flashback and then letting him talk before and after or talk through the flashback, they just kept showing like clips of what he did, and that bothered me because like I would have really liked to have seen how he set that whole thing up.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have
I have
time
similar thoughts
budget
about
that.
the other topic we're going to talk about today.
But that's one thing I don't like about that's getting on my nerves about this modern superhero age is that the superheroes are letting the normal people dictate how they live their lives. And
Yeah.
it's like, I'm sorry, I fought Thanos and an army of alien demons. I I'm keeping the boat. Like, don't okay. That
Yeah.
no.
That I thought like that. I mean, but here's the thing though, as nonsensical that is the most American scene of them not giving him a loan after fighting Thanos.
Yeah.
He was the first one through the portal, man.
On your left.
On your left, which was, by the way, what
Call
kept
back.
Captain America from dang near giving up. Because he had half a shield, everything sucked, and then you know what's funny? I thought it was hilarious how like when the black people came through the portal, Cap was like, "Oh, thank God." Black up is here. Thank God. But it's like that didn't make no dang sense. Like also outside of Falcon not, like getting the money he needs or really not he shouldn't even have to use money at that point. But like they ignored Wanda. Like you really should have had like if anyone needs a therapist, like they should have had her get a therapist like the day she got back. Like that seemed like a big oversight. It just seems it's a little jacked up. All this is how they're treating them is bad. This is all bad. None of this is good.
Yeah, but the whole thing with that though is with Wanda, she's not gonna do anything anybody says, and she's a pretty white girl, so they're not really gonna try to make her either. So as long as she just kind of walks off and does her own thing, even taking over a city, they'll try to get the people out of the city. But once she starts walking away, they're not gonna do anything. They just let her go.
I mean, Walter, truth be told, like, what would you do to her?
Yeah.
Like, the one thing I thought was hilarious about WandaVision was every time they pointed guns, they're like, what, like you ain't gonna do nothing. Put that down. What was your plan here? I mean, yeah.
Wanda's not Omega level, is she?
No. She's probably she's beyond.
No, she's not.
Well, wait. You mean as a mutant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think her mutant powers is not Omega level, but like her whole set.
She's a 4.
Yeah,
she's
but like
still up.
Omega's a 5.
Yeah, but like that's her mutant power though. But like with her full, like she's got magic and all the other crap. Like she's clearly overall an Omega level threat.
She's an S tier, definitely.
The Hulk is an Omega level threat. He is the original Omega level threat. And then she once said, "No more Phoenix," and then the Phoenix pieced out. Like, if that's not like the Phoenix is the sum total of all life that was, is, and shall ever be across all timelines. If destroying that with a word isn't Omega level, Walter, then nobody is.
Oh no, I agree with you. Like, but the question was she an Omega level mutant? Which is no, she's not. But if you just put together what she's capable of doing, she's probably something beyond Omega level.
Yeah, I mean, like I think she would require like the living tribunal almost, or maybe even the one above all to come down and go, Wanda, please stop it for a second. All right, I'm gonna need you to just cool all the way down. All right, do not make me blink you out of existence, okay? I'm
Franklin.
You're godlike, but I'm just God. I don't know if Franklin can, because like I think if it was Franklin versus her, it might come down to who fires first and who fires best.
No, I don't think Franklin can do anything to her.
Over him though.
I don't know, man. Franklin he harnessed Galactus.
Yes, but
easily with zero effort.
Yeah, but she messes with probability. So I mean, the truth of the matter is that.
Okay.
I'm just saying the truth of the matter with that is that even though her power level, like let's say their power levels were even, the things he can change reality, and she can keep him from changing her reality.
But what if he changed his reality so that he has powers that could beat her reality? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think when you have two people who can control the fabric of reality, I think it comes down to who fires first and best, because they both have stupid dumb levels of power. I mean, Walter,
It's true.
Galactus is his herald. He sends the devourer of worlds to go do his bidding. And by the way, Galactus is the only living being who to survive from the previous iteration of life. Like, he was strong enough to survive the end of all things. And then Franklin's like, hey, go get my mail. Like, you know, I mean, Walter. I mean, come on. Also, he's got one thing that Wanda doesn't: mental stability. He can think and plan and stick to things. Wanda's kind of a little bit of a mess. Like, dude, all you do is go, hey, Vision, I need you to come over here and do something. And he would just make a Vision who would come talk to her, and they're like, oh my God, Vision, death, got you, you idiot.
I mean, I can't argue that point, but
yeah,
I don't know. It also depends on which version of Franklin Richards, because if you're talking about like 6-year-old Franklin versus 12-year-old Franklin, and then 12-year-old Franklin versus 30-year-old Franklin. 30-year-old Franklin was crazy.
Old man strength Franklin who controlled Galactus. Like, master Franklin. Cap fully off. Yeah, no, but yeah, they have not done well by their heroes. Like, honestly, dude, like, when I thought Falcon was gonna walk into the bank and then just get the money he needed. Bro, I'm like, yo, I think I might have to retire after that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
that moment with the Air Force.
That moment in the first Spider-Man movie where Peter Parker sort of stands there and lets dude get robbed makes a lot more sense in this world.
Yeah, it does. By the way, I do like how when they were over in the Middle East, like, some random guy was like, hey, my daughter exists because of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's the first instance of a thank you we've seen to an Avenger. I think, like, since the first movie.
I mean, it's just been WandaVision and this episode, but yeah. Right?
No, I mean, I'm talking about since Avengers
like
1.
any of them. Because like
Avengers
even
1.
Like at the end of the Avengers 1, when they started talking about what happened, they were the news was spinning it that it was the Avengers' fault that everything got destroyed.
Yeah.
And you know how people are in this country. I mean, anything that comes on Fox News, they believe it. So
yeah. But I mean, other than that, though, I think everything was good. I like the subplot with what's going on with the Winter Soldier. I think that's pretty cool. Him trying to make up things. But I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think what the arc of the show is going to be. You know, he thought that the shield still belongs to Cap. He gave it up, and now they've picked their white guy to be Captain America. And I think, you know, obviously that's going to be the thing that's going to drive him to go, no, Cap handed it to me, so I'm taking my shield back.
Well, that's one thing I didn't get, because you're gonna have Captain America. Either you respect his wishes and give it to who he said, or you let it be. You are not replacing Steve Rogers. I'm sorry. I don't care who you're putting in there. It's not the same. Because even in the comics, when Falcon becomes Captain America, it's not the same. Right.
I mean, your best bet would be to just say you have a new Captain America, never say what his name is, and just have Bucky be it. Like,
yeah.
Like that's like the least disrespectful and yet most effective play.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think he should have handed off the shield. I think he's got too much faith in his government, which he should have shedded after the whole Sokovia Accords.
I don't think he has
go
any
down
faith
in the comics though.
Huh?
Basically the same, but I don't think he had any faith in the government. I think what happened basically was he felt like he wasn't worthy of it, and he felt like they wouldn't think anybody was worthy of it either. So if he handed them the shield, they'd put it away, and it would never come back out. And that's what it looked like when he first handed it to him. And then 10 seconds later, they're like, "Hey, so we picked another white guy."
Yeah, Trick, please. I'd be on my way to Washington. Give me my shield.
Right. No, he should have kept it, but he believed too much in him, dude. Honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't even be in the military at that point, cause Civil War wasn't that long ago.
But Rhodey's kind of the same boat. Rhodey's still in the military, despite everything. losing his legs and the ability to walk.
By the way,
Never getting any upgrades from Tony.
I find it funny that in that scene where he lost his where he lost his ability to walk, it was him, Falcon, and Vision, and the black men are still alive and they're friends now. The offender is gone, so yay for black people. No, it was cool to see them talking to each other like like normal, because I think canonically the last time they had seen each other was Civil War, wasn't it? Because I don't think they didn't see each other in Infinity War.
No.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. Did they?
Yeah,
No.
and then in Endgame they didn't have time to do anything other than fight.
Right.
They may have had that brother look, nod the head and keep going. But
Yeah,
that's about
right.
it.
They're like, we good? We good. All right, cool.
Wait, weren't they both at Infinity War? War Machine and Falcon there?
I mean, they were both in the movie. I don't remember if they were both together. Did
Like
they?
in Wakanda, like that last fight.
I don't remember. I think
Yeah,
maybe.
no, I think they were both in Wakanda, but again, I don't know if they had time to.
There was no time at all.
They were just there.
Yeah. But no, I'm interested to see how it goes. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, we could probably tell that the new Captain America is probably just
trash,
just the worst. Like he's probably a QAnoner. Like he probably has like "Stop the Steal" tattooed on his arm. like this dude he is the wrong choice.
Yes.
Well, no, U.S. Agent is a horrible person. I mean, like canonically, he's a horrible person.
Yeah.
And getting the shield made him an even more horrible person.
Well,
yeah.
This is my theory though. The that terrorist cell group, the that guy who stepped on Torres. I feel like that might be the new Cap. I don't know.
That dude looked way too big though.
I don't know.
Like that dude looked.
I just got the feeling
he looked bigger and he had long hair too.
Well, I mean, it could have been a wig and like a fake beard.
That's too outlandish for the universe.
But no, in Marvel, you just need a hat and glasses, and no one recognizes you. So if he gets a fake beard, like he's a completely different person.
No, I thought that. I think they might be both part of the same program though. Like for sure,
Yeah.
They're probably both part of the same program. But he looked physically larger, which I mean, in a world full of scrolls, that is meaningless. But
Right.
but I think they're probably definitely in the same group. But the fact that it looked like almost a couple of days later they picked the new Cap after having that ceremony was shady.
That's typical though.
It is.
This is America.
Also, if that shield was repaired, that means that shield was repaired with vibranium, which I guarantee you, that was a gift from Wakanda. I think at this point that shield belongs to the Wakandan royal family, not America.
Sir? Yeah.
It just, I don't get that. Also, I felt the same way in WandaVision when they said that Vision was property of the United States government. He was built with stolen vibranium. Pretty sure that belongs to Wakanda. I think that's where his body should go. Plus, let's be honest, I don't. Oh, good.
No, if you're really honest, he belongs to Tony.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah,
technically, he belongs to Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, because he was built by Tony with, and then the program went and stole some vibranium, but Tony and T'Challa were cool at the end. So, it's kind of between Spider-Man and it's T'Challa to figure out what's going on. But the government's like, nope, it's ours. How? How did you figure that out?
White people.
Yeah, you're right. But I think I like the start, and I feel like they used the episode to set the world up and kind of get the talking out of the way.
Yes. Yeah.
I just really hope. Yeah, I just really hope that we don't see more of his sister doing poor me, and my life is hard. Like, bro, he just came back from being fired at by a bunch of like criminals on the border of Libya or whatever, almost starting World War III. And you had to fish.
Was it shout out to GSP George St. Pierre for being in that helicopter scene, former MMA fighter. But then I do want to see Falcon with his nephews.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot of black men with black children being good on TV a lot. So
Right.
just seeing that dynamic is nice. So I
Yeah.
would like to see something.
No, definitely. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. And I'm glad that Falcon got a chance to be with this very black family. That was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they got off the screen really quick, but they were there.
It was there.
But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun ride. Because so far, Marvel really hasn't missed yet. Unlike the next topic we're going to talk about.
That's not really true. Marvel's about 98% accurate.
You name me one thing that they did that was
Inhumans.
bad. That first off, Walter. First off, all right, it wasn't that terrible. Was it good?
Inhumans was
No.
horrible.
But was it better than most of what DC's put out? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, it was horrible.
We got
it was
Black
the most
Bolt,
horrid
Walter.
thing.
We got
It
Black
was
Bolt,
horrid.
and I will not allow you to take that from me. We got another member of the Illuminati, and I will not allow you to strip that from me.
That was not Black Bolt. That was
remember, that was made back when Marvel TV and Marvel Cinema were separated. So Feige hasn't missed yet. Okay? All right, that man is good, and we don't count the Dark World, Walter. We know that. Okay? That doesn't count.
I gave you 98%.
I'm gonna take that full 100, all right? I'm gonna take that full 100 because it's the highest film franchise in human history. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. We don't count Inhumans because that was not Feige. That's not part of the universe. I mean, they made that clear when they snapped Netflix away. So
it was totally part of the universe.
It literally wasn't though. People in charge of that they were not even talking to the MCU people. Like they hated each other. That's why they had to give everything. They're like, look, we can't have y'all not talking. This don't make no dang sense. But
saying they had one misstep.
I'm saying they didn't though. Go ahead. And also I'm gonna make sure that this part of you not agreeing is edited out. So it is what it is. But no. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to say about Falcon Winter Soldier?
Nah, I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Cedric?
Yeah, on the
Yeah, you broke up entirely right there. And then this time you said the and then stop talking.
No.
it's getting worse.
You sound like one of those androids in Star Wars.
He's got 8 megabytes down for his internet speed, and like 3 bytes up.
Wait, I understood that. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. You're back. All right.
It is.
So we talked about Marvel part. Let's talk about the Snyder cut. They finally got it out. Oh, well, go ahead. Yo,
okay,
you're breaking up and taking too long to say simple things, kind of like the Snyder cut. I'll start, Cedric. You figure out what's happening with your internet. I mean, look, okay. I think it was better than the original one, but I also think it wasn't that great. I was really hyped for it. I really wanted to just like love this as a piece of like a piece of art. But right at the bat, I told Cedric this like because we both stayed up from like midnight to watch it till 4 a.m. I did not like the whole 4-3 aspect. I think that was a really self-indulgent ego move that made me hate it right at the back because one, it is dumb format, and two, they had that message saying this was done to preserve the director's vision. I don't no. Preserve my viewing enjoyment, okay? I have a widescreen. You use that entire screen. I don't want to see no Instagram. Like you could probably watch that whole movie on Instagram with it being at 4:3. All right. So I didn't like that right off the bat, and then it just seemed a lot of overused slow-mo to drag things out, and there were a lot of scenes that were just unnecessary. Like after he went to try and recruit Aquaman, when he left, there was a good like 2 minutes of random, vaguely Eastern European white women staring at the screen singing in another language that had no meaning and did not need to be in the movie. That was stupid, and that scene just set me off. I'm like, really, why? Why am I wasting time with this?
Yeah, actually, I turned to my kids when that was happening, and I was like, this is one of those moments where subtitles might have made this make sense. Because, like, if the song was about something that had to do with Aquaman or about Thanos, sorry, about Darkseid coming or something, anything. If it was about anything that had anything to do with anything, and I had subtitles that let me know why it was happening, I could have accepted that. But it was just a random thing they were doing. It's like,
Yeah,
yes, like sad, not even hot women standing by the ocean singing.
yeah. It
They were
was
revering the Sea King.
Cedric, don't make me kill
What?
you.
They were paying homage to the King of the Sea.
No, no, that is
Oh,
stupid
okay.
and dumb, and you
He
know that.
got cut off from food. He was providing food for them. Would you not praise the man who brings you food?
Not with a
Tell me that's what they're
nonsensical
saying.
random song.
You don't know
Yeah,
what white
tell
people
me that's
do
what
when
they're saying.
Anyways, after that dumb song happened, um, I, I mean, the Wonder Woman scene seemed like it was pretty much unchanged. You know, her beating those
There was
dudes up, which
added to it.
like it seemed like it was a little longer, but it's the same result. Like these dudes, like, oh, I'm gonna fire a gun at Wonder Woman because that's gonna get results.
well,
Uh,
no, actually, in the reshoots, she didn't murder them. She just knocked them out. In
Walter,
in in
no, no,
in this
Walter,
original one, she murdered them all.
yeah, Walter, no, no, they're yeah, they're dead. They are dead. But like they were like, oh, I'm gonna fire. Like Walter, after she blocked the first bullet, bruh, just give up. You lost. Like why? Like
Oh,
just
I
get on the
agree.
ground. Like just get down the ground. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take this L. All right, I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna be a better person. All right. um, I thought,
Yeah. Yeah. How many times do we see like criminals in the real world? They're surrounded by cops. They've all got guns on them, and dude points his gun and tries to fight his way out.
yeah,
This
but
is a thing that happens.
Walter, I would rather fight an entire squad of police than any one member of the Justice League.
They didn't know who she was. Remember, she disappeared. This is the
Bro,
first time she
no,
came back.
Walter. After she blocked one bullet and like flew and started doing stuff, stop. Just you give up. You
You have
lost.
people unload full clips into Superman thinking it was going to do something. These
Yes.
people are the smartest.
They're so dumb. But one thing I didn't like about this about that the villain who was holding the bank or whatever hostage or whatever is one where they were at was very vaguely identified. Like they didn't really say what it was, and their reasoning as a group also just seemed like Zack Snyder just wanted some bad guys to hold some kids hostage. Uh, and I also hated the whole when like everyone stood up, that one little girl was staying still or staying on the ground just to have Wonder Woman like give her like the girl power pep talk thing. Like that just seemed awkward and
Hmm.
unnecessary. I mean, well,
You
most
know,
of this movie is awkward and unnecessary, but go ahead, Walter.
in both versions of this, in the original, or well, this is the original, in the Zack Snyder cut and in the theatrical cut, when they are talking about bringing back the dark ages or whatever, I thought the same thing. It's like with a 4 block bomb. I mean,
Yeah,
what exactly are you trying to accomplish aside from murdering like some people in 4 blocks? If you're actually trying to bring back the Dark Ages, then you need to be setting off an EMP off the top of a mountain in Tibet or something. Not
right.
this. This is just murder 7 people and then say get rid of technology. That's
Yeah,
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's the thing, though, guys. You're thinking rational human beings. The whole reason that explains all this is two simple words, and I think you guys know those two words.
is it a
Zack
color
Snyder.
and a type of life?
Yes, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
No, no.
Well then,
It
We
have to make sense. They just want to maim and hurt people. It doesn't make sense.
but
oh man.
it still was it's still
Oh
pretty
man.
bad though. It's still pretty bad. Like there's a lot of things that they could have done to have her do something, but like they just have some generic bad guys who want to be like budget Thanos. Um,
They also think about at the time that Justice League was released, Cheetah hadn't been introduced. There was no other Wonder Woman villains really. And in the comic book, she's like super feminine. So
Yeah, but Cedric, here's how we fix this little issue. Just have it be a bank robbery. I'm here for money, and I will shoot you if I don't get money. And now it makes sense.
I mean,
No, he went out of his way to go, we're going to set the world back to the Stone Age with a 4-block bomb that will kill us and therefore end our mission because we're no longer here to see it through.
there might be more of them.
No, Cedric, stop. No, you stop it.
What is a scene if not just random things happening?
No. Here in the DC universe, some things have to have some sort of something.
No.
This is just. It was a bunch of random nothing because I think he's either not intelligent enough to come up with something, or they were just like, I wanna say this line. I never got to put in the movie, so I'm just gonna throw it here.
But it was, with all due respect, that's like 2 minutes of a 5-hour movie.
Oh, I know, and it shouldn't have been that long. This is one of the many things I did not like about it, but I just feel like he could have, like, if they wanted a scene where she was doing those exact same things, there's a bunch of other ways that could have made more sense than we're gonna use a 4-block bomb and turn back all of society somehow. That just seemed like a weird thing to put in. Like when you're doing a movie, every line that you write should matter somehow.
Michael Bay wrote a whole scene about those squirrel suits because he saw it on the news and wrote a whole movie about it.
Cedric, if Michael Bay is your defense, that's not good for Zack Snyder.
And since you said Michael Bay, did anybody else think that Wonder Woman blowing up the bank was just Michael Bay-ish?
Oh, she blew the bomb up?
No, not the blowing the bomb up. That made sense. But like when she clanged that dude who pulled the machine gun, like she could have punched him in the face, it would have been over. She blew up the entire side of the bank to kill that one guy who was no threat. That was totally Michael Bay-ish.
Yeah.
He Michael Bay is awful. I would not ever use him as a defense.
I'm not using him as a defense. I'm just saying a Hollywood movie was made around a newscast because
yeah, he's awful. He is another awful director out there. But yeah, I just thought that scene was really weird. Really weird. Let's see. We go from there to what is it? Is that when we see Cyborg for the first time?
Yeah, he's just watching the news or something.
I do like Cyborg more in this version, though. I do like Cyborg more in this version because they spent more time with him. So I thought that was.
And Flash.
I thought that was good. Flash.
Flash is better here. He really is.
Is he?
He's better. Like no, he's not great. Like I still think that this is Impulse, not Barry. But I mean, he's better.
Yeah.
He's just so weird, and it's not. It's more of a problem I had with him as an actor. He's just so weird. Like I feel about his entire being like I used to feel about Henry Cavill's face. It's just like I don't understand it, and I don't want to. It's weird.
He was always a bad choice because DC doesn't want to use TV actors for movies for some reason.
If they had just used Grant Gustin,
they were given. I mean, it wasn't terrible this time around.
Oh, I hated all the. Basically, anytime we see Flash doing anything with his powers, just look like when it's like close up, like the face close up. Or whatever. It's weird. The hands are weird. It just, I don't know, man. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like the first time the Flash has ever been on the screen, but like, bro, you've got too much other established live action Flash stuff to be getting this wrong.
But at the when he was in the Speed Force running, that was cool.
Oh, when he turned back time.
Yeah, that was cool.
The things around him were cool. I can't get with the ice skating, but the effect of the whole world resetting, that I did like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not with him because his running style's weird, but that whole scene was cool.
And I did one of the things that I I liked because it was realistic, but also hated Barry for was when he was building up that charge at the end and he got hit. I'm still like digesting it, but like when he got hit in the stomach, which I assume was even worse before his super healing got involved. He's like, I got winded. I need a minute. It's a very human moment. I guess like that. If you get hit like that bad that you'd be down. But I also was mad because I feel like Barry Allen like would have man through that. But I know he's not there yet in his career to be able to power through stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure Flashpoint Barry would if he had to run like that to save existence would have just put up with it and just cried later.
Well, this is like season 1 Flash with Sactor.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Flash, though, real quick though, they twice in that movie, they did the whole we have to time this thing with Cyborg that requires Barry to charge it. Do it once, don't do it twice. That's just giving him something to do. Like you couldn't figure out what else to have him do. Like, I need you to run really fast to charge this box. 2 hours goes by. I need you to run really fast to charge me while I interfere with that said box. Come on.
But okay, to be fair on that though, you were supposed to see those two things happen a year apart.
I think I still would have been mad. Not as mad though. But yeah. Now
you were supposed to see the mother box get charged, and then a year later you were supposed to see him redo the charge thing to Cyborg, and then it would have been, oh yeah, he's got that power, as opposed to, dude, I saw you do that an hour ago.
Like a callback to a previous two. I may have felt different if there had been a year apart, but together though, I was like, it was kind of meh. Oh, also, and I talked to Cedric about this, and I know you said that Zack Snyder is very on the nose. The slow-mo action scenes with like the sappy songs that are literally describing what's happening. Like, I think the most egregious was when Barry was saving who I presume is Iris from the car crash. The whole like I'll hold you in my arms part, and it's just, I'm like, none of this is necessary. First off, I don't think she even had any lines. It's just like, no. It's just weird. There was too many songs that were just literally describing what was happening on screen. And with all like how sappy and lovey-dovey some of these songs were, I felt more like I was watching a CW episode than I was an actual like superhero blockbuster film.
Well, they're both WB, so at least there's brand. But, but that's what it's just. The songs, I would take his songs over Chris Nolan's just bass any day. Just I'll take a song over brrr anytime.
Yeah, no one has his own issues as well, but it was just Now I will say this: the parts where they're fighting are great.
Yeah,
the fighting parts are great. That's one thing I've said going back to Man of Steel. DC's they've got the fight down. Like Man of Steel was a movie that made me believe that they could do flash steps in live action now. I believe it. The technology is here now. So the fighting parts were pretty cool. I did like that they had black suit Superman. I did like how he was still black suit at the end, because the black suit in like regular superheroing would not inspire hope to me. Makes you look a lot like a bad dude.
Executioner.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and give that a pass as him saying, "Ha ha ha, we got the black suit in film now." I can let that go.
Also, in the timeline of the movie, he had they were already on their way to stop Steppenwolf, and Superman flew to Bruce's house because he thought that's where they were. I don't know why, because he could have heard him wherever they were.
Yeah, that was dumb.
House, so Alfred could give him the black suit, and it was like.
I think Alfred didn't give him the black suit.
No, yeah,
he went to the ship and got the black suit.
Also, did they explain how he knew Alfred? He said, "You must be Alfred." Like, I'm assuming. Like, did he talk to Lois?
So he I would say he was probably listening in on Bruce's comms when they were fighting.
Oh, okay, yeah. But see, I would like to. Okay, well, now one thing I did like about this version when Superman came back, they made it clearer that the reason he was attacking people was because the shock, I guess, and the method probably of how they brought him back was, wrong. Like it was not natural what they did. Because like I remember like in the original version when Batman said the world needs you and he's like it doesn't need you like that version, it seemed like he was in control of himself and then saying things out like he was all in his feelings, whatnot, which didn't make sense. Walter, remember we talked about this when it first came out. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me because when he died as a friend of Batman who had just saved his mother. It didn't make sense for him to come back and try and say it doesn't need you, But this version, I think, with him being him saying nothing, and then you see him slowly his mind coming back, and then when Lois saw him in the field saying, "Oh, you're back now," like I liked that it showed that he had to. It took a minute,
Well, I like that too because it shows Superman's Cro-Magnon brain, where he just like, I'm going on a rampage, oh girl, oh, and just I just like that because Superman is not smart.
No, he's not. Also, white privilege. If a
Superman's
black
brilliant.
superhero had done that, even if he come back from death, they would have made him a villain forever.
The cop would have shot him.
I mean, they thought about it, and then they realized that he has.
The cops did shoot him.
They tried.
Well,
they actually shot him a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't work though.
yeah.
He did laser eye them though. They did get hit. But like, if that had been a black superhero, they would have held that against them forever.
Okay. Now, when they first showed Darkseid, I was really, really, really looking forward to this. And then, okay, the Omega Beams. The Omega Beams didn't look impressive at all.
And we saw them like what,
everything
once, right?
Steppenwolf did. Yeah, he only did it once, and they weren't impressive, dude. They were like Superman's heat vision is way more impressive than those Omega Beams.
Right.
Way more.
A couple things though, Walter. One, Darkseid does not need a weapon. Darkseid is the weapon. Like, I didn't like that he had an axe because that's unnecessary. And two, Walter, they had to drag Darkseid from that first fight. The only ones who drag Darkseid is evil Superman or the League when they've somehow achieved the impossible. But he lost to like nobodies. Like, yeah, Zeus was there, but no.
Zeus and Ares.
Whatever. Ares got beat by Wonder Woman who'd been in the world for like 5 seconds. So no, you're not losing. I didn't like that. Walter, he should not have lost like that. That was weird.
No, I agree with you there. And then I've always had this problem with certain villains, super villains, whatever. But like Skeletor, is bad about this also. But like a person defeats you, like kicks the crap out of you, and you're the most powerful of all your people, obviously, because that's how you're the leader. And then one of your minions gets beaten by the same guy, and you're like, "You have failed me, dude. Seriously, really."
Yeah, that was dumb. And I was very mad about the Oh, good.
No, I was just like, it always seemed to me like some supervillain, especially like Steppenwolf, you're getting ready to die at his feet anyway. You go, well, then you beat him.
Yeah.
That's Starscream though.
Yeah, but Starscream was he's all kinds of stupid. But no, it just one Steppenwolf. I saw people saying that he was a well-rounded villain. No, he's not. He's generic. He's still generic.
Compared to last time, it made sense.
But that's like saying, you were a 0, but now you're a 0.5. Like, it's like
I would say 1, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not. No, we've seen some good villains. He is not in that class. But the Green Lantern, like we were like I believe we were told that there's gonna be more Green Lantern stuff, and like I mean, there was a close up that lingered on his face for 5 extra seconds for no reason.
Well,
But
apparently WB didn't let Snyder use John Stewart or like any of the current lanterns. So he just was kind of stuck with that.
WB,
Well,
like,
first off, that was 10,000 years in the past, so those Green Lanterns didn't exist anyway.
but also Walter, you know a lot about DC. If the Green
Uh huh.
Lantern Corps knew that Darkseid was going to get the anti-life equation, or was searching for it and bringing his force to another planet, are they sending one Green Lantern?
Of course not. They're sending the whole Corps.
Yeah. Even if Darkseid was going to claim a moon because he felt like it, and you knew ahead of time, you're sending the Corps. This is your chance because you're not going to
And
Apocalypse.
also, where was the High Father and the New Gods? They don't just let that happen. I mean, it's literally what they do is go and oppose Darkseid when he does that.
Yeah. No, it was stupid.
See,
Um,
I think the movie would have made a lot more sense if it was like Mongol instead of Darkseid.
or if it was him as Uxas
Yeah,
before
I
he got
agree.
if it was Darkseid before he became Darkseid, I think that
Yeah,
would make sense.
yeah.
I think that showed Snyder's and whoever else was helping him with the movie. It showed a fundamental misunderstanding of Darkseid and that whole side of DC. Because that,
Unless WB was like, we need to like use Darkseid, and that's it. I mean, who knows what actually it was, but could
I mean,
be.
I'm sure they have, but I believe the whole point of this was to see his vision. You would think that they would at least say, okay, in the flashback he's Uxas. At some point he destroyed the new gods, took some of their power. Now he's dark, or the old gods, and now he's Darkseid. That's one line, and it makes him losing first make sense. You
True,
know?
Well, he
but
loses
that's
on
not
a
what they did.
planet and then can't find it for generations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was dumb. Um, and then it did make sense that they had Desaad talking to Steppenwolf. Like, look, dude, look, you're building up Darkseid. Just either have him talk to only Desaad and mention Darkseid and Fear, or have him talk to Darkseid. But I don't need this other dude who's doing nothing to be
I,
in
I
the movie sometimes.
I get that though because Steppenwolf was outcasted. Like he wasn't, even worthy to be in the same room as Darkseid. So him trying to get back in Darkseid's graces, even Desaad was like, "You have 50,000 more worlds to conquer before he'll talk to you." But then the second he's like, "Hey, I found the anti-life equation." Then Darkseid's like, "Oh, okay, well I'm interested now."
He's like, we're friends, right? No, we're not friends. Um, so yeah, that was there's issues there. I liked that Batman and Wonder Woman didn't have their little spat this go around because that just didn't
Oh,
make sense,
yeah.
you know. Um, so that was good. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of things that I actually liked. Uh,
I like the team dynamic for one. They had Bruce and
yeah,
Diane as the veterans, Cyborg and Flash as like the upstarts, and then Superman as the tank.
yeah. They did bring that together a little better. Oh, one scene that I liked they put in. I did like the scene of when Cyborg gave that woman and her kids money
I mean,
because
yeah.
if I had that power, yeah, I'd be just paying everybody stuff. But and I don't know if you saw, but like the actress who played that part, like she had like a nice story where she was saying, "Hey guys, am I actually in this version? Because like Whedon cut me out, like
Oh
you,
yeah,
you know." Um, and see, like that scene that should have been cut out in the first one because that was like 3 seconds, and it
yeah,
was great. It showed that Cyborg was still a human, you know.
yeah.
But
Why would you want to know that?
I know, right? That's stupid. I'm sorry, but I I liked that Martian Manhunter was in the movie. Didn't
But his reason was stupid.
It was very stupid. I mean, I get it that he tried to help Lois, but like he said, the world needs you to. No, I'm sorry, it really doesn't. Dark side is a thing, and Martian Manhunter, you probably know about that. No, she's not important. It's just the only thing she's important is if you know you need her to control Superman, and at that point, he didn't know that.
Well, yeah. In that aspect, she's important. Because it's the only thing keeping Superman tethered to Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, I like seeing him in the movie, but the whole time, if he was that general, or if he was just looking like the general at the time, whatever, he sat through all that time and did nothing.
Yeah, and he did not help them out. He came in after the fighting was over. That was dumb.
Depending on like which version, like Martian Manhunter is right up there with Superman. So why did he do nothing?
Right, and also Walter, you'd have more time reading DC Comics than Cedric and I have time. Period. Being alive.
Yeah.
Do the events of this movie happen like that final fight? Does that happen without the Green Lantern Corps sending one of its human lanterns to get involved with this?
No, it doesn't. But here's the question: do we even have human lanterns at this point?
There should be.
There should be, or at the very least, Walter, what they could have done if they were smart, they could have had what's his face, the lantern that died.
How the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have him fight, have him die in this fight, and then the ring go off, and then you know it's going to Hal Jordan.
Yeah, no, that would have made a lot more sense. But oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of holes. There are a lot of places that could have been filled in with things that made sense and that would work. Cyborg's dad dying. He could have done that without having to be inside the box.
He could have. Yes, he could have. That was stupid.
He could have just turned it on and left. If all he's trying to do is superheat the doggone box, he didn't have to be inside with it.
Yeah, that was. Huh?
It's not emotional then.
It was dumb.
It was dumb. Yeah.
Don't die dumb.
It's not emotional though.
He's the most brilliant man on the planet. Next to Cyborg. He knew that he could press the button and run out of the room.
Well, but again, Cyborg is supposed to be a genius also, and he's like, "Oh, I thought Batman was a myth. I didn't know you were real."
But that's because he's the Batman, Cedric. You know that logic doesn't apply to Batman.
He's Cyborg. He could access the Bat computer.
But remember, in the comics, when he's like, "Batman, you put a virus in me." Wait, the day we met, yeah, I'm Batman. Like that's his thing. So you know that. That's like how me and Walter have bat math. You know, Batman plus anything equals win. You know, all right.
Well, prep time.
Well, I mean, yeah. If he has prep time, he's free. Yeah, you're done for sure. But yeah, I think that's the whole. That's the whole thing. You know, people not knowing, you know, where he is, or how like he could be, you know, him and Superman can be talking. Superman turn around, Batman's gone. He'd be like, "What? I am me. How?" So yeah, I don't hold that against him. I thought that actually was kind of funny. You know, a way of hyping up Batman's being, you know, how mysterious he is and whatnot. Plus, he probably really tries to avoid being caught on any kind of digital anything, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he was gone for 20 years, so things weren't as on record then too. So, and remember, Cyborg, as smart as he is, he's still like what 20, 21. He may be very smart, but he's still. He
was like 19. He was like 19 there.
19, yeah. He's still a 19-year-old guy.
The smartest 19-year-old guy.
I mean, maybe. I'm sure there's some people out there who are probably smarter. But
he's part Mother Box.
He is part Mother Box.
Like.
But he couldn't. But he could. He thought Batman was a myth because Batman is just that awesome.
Okay, actually, that's one problem I had was the Mother Boxes. Now, I might be mistaken from the comic books, but they say that the Mother Boxes only do the will of its owner or the person who's wielding them. But then Wonder Woman's like, it's going to show you it's the darkest fears you have. One, how does she know that? And two, when did the Mother Boxes become evil?
Zack Snyder.
Well, especially considering they also stated earlier in that the mother boxes are just machines that do the will of people. So like Wonder Woman saying that it's going to show you your fears made absolutely no sense because they literally said like 3 seconds before that the box just does what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the boxes did a horrible job of trying to get in Cyborg's head. If you're trying to turn him against them or make him ineffectual, you don't show him with his parents. You show his parents talking to him.
Yeah.
When you show him himself, he knows, well, this is fake because I am me.
But again, that you don't sacrifice story for something that looks cool. You get that cool shot where he finally accepts that he's cyborg and he doesn't see himself as the old Vic. You know, you get that cool shot. So it you sacrifice story for it looks cool.
Yeah, and that was bad. I mean, I talked about it earlier, but I still didn't like Barry not being able to just get up and man up and run through. But I guess if you know you can turn back time, your concept of what's urgent is a little different. You know, because he did not seem that worried. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for everything to go horrible, recover, and then just turn back time. So I mean, I guess you would be a little more lackadaisical about things. But I want to know, how did that regular parademon hit faster than light, Barry? Someone explain it to me.
Yeah, I have nothing.
I honestly, the Flash, I just chalked up everything to his inexperience. Like he couldn't even throw a punch. All he did was push people.
Cedric. If you're running dang near faster than the speed of light, it's been how inexperienced you are. You're running faster than someone can comprehend. Like you should not like basically what they're saying is that parademon has timing and reaction on par with the Man of Steel. Who, by the way,
the parademon was blindly firing.
The Man of Steel couldn't even keep up with him. Like he was close, but he struggled. This thing, he was like he looked, and then boom, got him.
He was randomly shooting. Like he wasn't aiming.
Speaking of senses of urgency, yeah, I know. Okay, Superman being my favorite superhero, I know everything about him. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, so he's got super speed, so I understand that. But why does he go to his fortress and then walk? Like he obviously went and talked to Alfred, and Alfred told him, "Hey, so all these other super beings are going to the other side of the world to fight a god, and they need your help." So he goes to the ship and then walks through and starts picking his outfit.
Yeah, and then why
did he girl at Kmart?
Yeah, and then why did he do the whole slow first time flying thing, bruh? Like the world is literally on fire. Like I'm gonna need you to get off your butt and do something. But
he doesn't care. Lois is fine. He doesn't care.
Well, Cedric, that does fuel my argument that Superman is not a good guy. He's just a guy who's doing what's convenient for him right now.
I mean, Superman in the Nightmare
timeline, he's not, Walter. That man went shopping for a new wardrobe while the other heroes were out there trying to fight a back-end invasion.
You and I, we all three had this conversation a bunch of times. Like, the Snyder Superman isn't a good guy. Like he can't. Like starting from his life in the beginning, where he's been picked on and can't hit anybody back, even though he could kill everybody. And then he never had a friend or anybody who liked him except for his mom and dad till he became like 20. And then he couldn't touch people because he was looking for whatever he was looking for while he was wandering around. And then he finally kisses the first woman he's ever kissed, and he immediately proposes to her because it's the first person who ever liked him. This guy can't become Superman. He's what is that friggin' like Brightburn? He's gonna become like like Brightburn or Ultraman. You know, like this guy can't become Superman. It's just not possible. He has no connection to anything in the world.
Well, but that's the thing. Lois in the Nightmare verse, like it would make more sense to me if Superman would become the tyrant instead of Superman teaming up with Darkseid.
Well, see, that's why Injustice is better, because he became evil in Injustice, and then Darkseid was like, "Hey, I'm I exist, and Superman was like, oh, that's cute, and then murdered Darkseid, and then Darkseid just did not reincarnate and come back. He's like, I'm gonna leave him alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna leave. He don't have no morals right now. I'm just gonna walk away. You know? But yeah, there's like it overall, it's more enjoyable as a total experience than the first one. But the problems with the first one are some a lot of those still carried over. You know, I don't think it needed to be this long. There was a lot of fat that could have been trimmed off. A lot of slow mo that could have not been slow mode. Um, you know, but overall, a better experience. Um, you know, Batman got to do stuff, which was cool. They, it really looks like he is much older than everybody else. he he is not a spring chicken. I really think they would have done well to have like maybe at the end when they were showing the heroes like all going their separate ways, being all happier and whatnot. What would have been really cool is if when Batman was on that perch or whatever, if the other parts of the Bat family, like like Robin or somebody else had come, or like Nightwing or whatever, had like appear behind him, like because the whole point of it seems like Batman's finally calling friends. He's finally believing in teamwork. I feel like it would have been cooler if he had called them in and maybe scouted Terry McGinnis or something, because he is not going to make it for League Two. I'm sorry, he is too old. it is not going to work. I thought that would have been cool to branch out the Bat family part. Since the whole movie for him was learning to have faith and have friends.
Oh, hey, I know we're sort of wrapping up here, but like real quick, in Wonder Woman the movie, Diana and like Zack Snyder helped write this movie, so there's no excuse here. Okay, Wonder Woman gets ready to leave Themyscira, and her mom says, "You can never return. You're leaving me. You're never coming back." She then, in this movie, at the beginning of the movie, fires that arrow and is like, "Come back to me, Diana." Now, which one is it? Can she not come back, or is she coming back with this arrow?
No, Walter. Darkseid. Everything is different now, Walter. Everything I said to you, forget that. Darkseid.
That's another gripe I had though with the Amazons. The Amazons and Atlanteans had the same amount of time from the first time Darkseid showed up to this when Steppenwolf shows up. You're gonna tell me the Amazons could not technologically advance at all, and the Atlanteans and humans just surpassed them in absolutely everything?
Yeah, it took them 35 minutes to get together a ceremony where everyone wore robes to bring a heavy box with an arrow for her to fire it at the mainland. Bruh, literally, like a teenage girl on that island could have sent a tweet to Twitter, #Darkseid, #End of Days at Wonder Woman, and it would have been done in like 3 seconds. Like
they smoke signals on Themyscira. They don't even have phones.
Yeah. Oh, also the Amazons were just
Garbage.
pathetic. Like they did not matter at all.
At least Mara put up a fight.
I mean, she has to. She has a name, Cedric. Anyone with a name has to do something. I did like how Mara pulled blood at a Steppenwolf though.
Bloodbender, yeah.
At first she was pouring water, and then they started getting red. I'm like, oh, all right, that's pretty cool. Like I almost forgot about what you did to Johnny Depp. For a hot second, but but I thought, she put up a better fight. But the Amazonians, they're fighting space gods with sticks and stones and arrows and ropes
and horses.
Walter, they were trying to. First off, Walter, I could have outran Steppenwolf. I could have done a better job in a Jeep, and they were out here on a Clydesdale trying to I got this, guys. We out here doing horse tricks. What, Walter? Come on.
Okay.
Like, were they going to get it to the ocean and swim away with it?
Right? You can't outrun a cop on a horse. Why would you think you could outrun Steppenwolf?
To be fair, they were only playing keep away. Like I had that same thought too. I was like, what? Okay, so you left the world alive for like 3 more minutes because that's about what you bought. That's about the amount of time you bought. But um, Zack Snyder, 300. He's got this thing about sort of medieval, or not medieval, but like ancient Roman world or whatever. So I sort of get why Themyscira in his world is like this, but Themyscira is actually supposed to be really, really technologically advanced. They just happen to also be warrior women. But his version is just, hey, we've been living on this island for 10,000 years and technology was never a thing.
Right. And Walter, do you think in the comics, if there was like 100 Amazonians against Steppenwolf, that they would do that bad? 100 of them.
Mm.
They would.
Okay, go ahead.
They would have done much better. They should have.
Yeah.
Go. Seth.
No. Yeah, they would have been a lot better off than the movie ones.
Yeah, I was like, these are not Amazonians. Like I get it, they're not as powerful as Wonder Woman, obviously, but they should have been able to do more than just run. Like that just seemed off.
There's another thing. Steppenwolf is telling Wonder Woman that he murdered all the Amazons. Okay, quite literally, the mother box got stolen, and then an arrow came from Themyscira. So you ain't murder everybody. How did she fall for this?
I don't know. And she's 5,000 dang years old. She should know better. There's just so much, just bad.
See, that's the thing. If you just turn your brain off and just watch it, it's enjoyable.
Never.
Oh, another thing. So I had been under the impression Steppenwolf's axe was some kind of magic because it's not his power. It's not a power he has. The axe itself is got some kind of power. So when he hit Superman with it, and Superman just sort of stood there.
Yep, not magic.
I was like, okay, yeah. So what's like? So what is his axe exactly? If it's not magic and it's not his powers, what is it?
It could just be apocalyptic tech, I guess. But dude, you know what would have been hilarious though? If Superman learned in that moment that he was vulnerable to magic and the axe just kind of went all the way in. That's what you get for being arrogant. Yeah. I also didn't like that the ice breath was able to shatter that axe that easily. Like that seemed weird for an axe. Huh?
It did it before. He did it before too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, like it. Yeah. It does. It seems weird that an axe that has helped him conquer like 100,000 worlds could be broken by a sneeze.
Yeah, like that was weird. Like it would have been cooler maybe if he did that like if like a couple Parademons trying to like restrain him, he could like just freeze one. I think that'd be kind of cool. But the axe that I'm like, you built that axe up to be a whole lot more powerful than just having a cold and dying.
Was it Superman just coming to save the day at the end was obvious, but they just made him too OP, like he's One Punch Man or something. But the DC, what they did right this time was they killed the villain.
Yeah.
They didn't just like put handcuffs on him and say, "Don't you do that again."
Well, yeah, I mean, like there are certain villains that you have to go for the head.
Not in Marvel. Well, Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that that's going to be one of the biggest complaints that most fanboys are going to have is that Wonder Woman cut off Steppenwolf's head. They murdered like the Justice League murdered a lot of extraterrestrials, a lot of extraterrestrials.
But they're
But they needed to be murdered.
Yeah. No, like it makes sense that Wonder Woman will kill him. She's a literal warrior. That's her life is war.
And he murdered half of her people.
Yeah. I mean, so there's that too. But like, yeah, it makes sense that you have to kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, Superman was a little too effective. Like they're gonna run into the problem very quickly that it's going to make things boring outside of what Superman's doing, and that's not good for a team dynamic. And on top of that, truth be told, Walter, I'm not that interested in watching him fight Darkseid. The first time we see Darkseid, he loses with an arrow in
Yeah,
his chest, and he's dragged off, bleeding and broken. It's the same problem we had in Star Wars with Kylo Ren. I
Yeah.
never was afraid of him. He lost in every movie, you
Yeah.
know. And so, if the first time I see Big Bad Darkseid, he's lost to regular non-Justice League people, then you know for sure the League has got him.
Yeah.
And you know what the proof of that was? He walked away at the end. He didn't say
Yeah.
anything. He didn't do anything. He left because he knows he can't beat them. And this is Darkseid with the Omega beams.
yeah, and not to mention the fact that, I mean, basically Batman and Cyborg pointed it out. Hey, you know what happened? Like, we did this, we activated these things. It never called out until Superman died
Yeah, he's
because it was
afraid.
afraid of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Darkseid is not afraid of anybody.
Well, I think that's what you said, David, though, how they had just a fundamental misunderstanding of Darkseid
Yeah,
as a character.
Zack Snyder has a fundamental misunderstanding of the entire DC universe.
I
He
he
likes
understands
the
Watchmen.
he understands the action scenes and the shots. He understands how to make things look great, but he doesn't
yeah,
understand the characters at all.
right. Because
Watchmen
also,
was great. He did a great job with Watchmen.
because Watchmen was also made by a weird guy, and they vibe together. But no, quick. But thing no, one thing that I thought, Walter, one thing that really makes all this not make sense: Superman dying, big deal across the galaxy, right?
Hmm.
Walter, tell me this: if Superman dies, how is the Lantern Corps not sending people to fill that vacuum?
Well, but in universe, how would they even know about him? Other than Zod, like what alien
Well,
force is Superman taking on?
I mean, like
Well,
the
apparently
land,
when he screamed, everybody heard it.
yeah, but like the Lanterns would have known because they have there's a guy who's in charge of that whole sector. Like they would monitor big things like that, and after you know the whole Zod thing, I'm pretty sure you're on somebody's radar, you know. Um, and if Darkseid knows, I'm pretty sure the Lanterns know about it. But
And truth be told, the Lanterns probably were watching that whole thing when Zod showed up and were like, "Oh, this guy's got it," and just left.
right, they should have put honor guard or somebody there to fill that vacuum. You know, like that seemed weird. That or at the very least they weren't having somebody watch. Like, hey, just keep an eye out. Just somebody. You know, their big bad is gone, and this planet is under your purview as the lantern of this sector. So be on guard.
Yeah.
It just seems once again he is a fundamental misunderstanding of the DC universe, dude. And like I think his type of movieing worked out for Watchmen, but I don't think it worked out for the main DC universe. It just like these characters like they don't feel like kind of like they're supposed to, you know?
Well, yeah. DC doesn't do a good job of translating their characters to the live action screen. Outside of Tim Burton did a pretty good job of it. But they need to figure out how to get their characters from the comics and the animated movies onto the live screen.
Just
Yeah.
hired that team to do the live green movies.
No, it's very simple. I mean, because I think like Superman, like I think I've warmed up to Henry Cavill. I mean, like like he's got the build for it, obviously. I think I can get used to him being Superman. I think he can handle it. Wonder Woman, she can for the most part handle it. Just don't ask her to be too emotional because she's not great at acting for like that. Batman, Batfleck is okay. But if what's his face? If Twilight, if he is better, then bring him in because he's younger and therefore can probably do more. Flash has to go. He has to die. He's no more of him. Cyborg is okay. I think Cyborg can stay. Manhunter, I hope they write him better in the future. I mean, like they've got good actor choices minus Lex Luthor. It's just their storytelling is bad, you know.
Oh, you know what? I looked at the credits for some reason, and I realized that that's Lex Luthor Jr. That's not Lex, because like Lex's dad's name isn't Lex.
Right.
It's yeah. That's Lex Luthor, the Lex Luthor we're supposed to be seeing against Superman. That's his son. So that takes a little bit of the sting off of him being such a weirdo, but only a little. Because what
Yeah.
I really want to see is like real Lex Luthor against Superman, not basically the Riddler.
Right. I also don't like the fact that Lex Luthor knew who everyone in the league was ahead of time, including Batman, like who he was too. Like I didn't. I mean, I don't know. Like if it was real Lex Luthor, I'd be less surprised, you know, because he's freaking Lex Luthor. But this goofball knowing everybody, nah, I don't buy that. Now I do like Deathstroke. He hasn't done much, but he had presence.
He looks the part.
He looks the part. He acted the part. Like I was like, okay. Like that was like the thing I was the most sad about when League didn't get a sequel at first. I'm like, oh okay, all right, Deathstroke. Oh, we're done. Oh okay, all right. Well then, screw me then.
Well, Walter, did Lex ever let Joker into the Injustice League?
The
'Cause
Injustice.
like Lex and Joker didn't work together.
No, well, okay, so he did let him in, but Joker's sort of a wild card.
Yeah.
So like they don't talk to each other so much as
Yeah.
Joker does stuff and then they go, "Hey, let's build a plan around the fact that the Joker just murdered 40,000 people."
Right, because Walter, hasn't he always regretted working with the Joker like every time it's happened?
Yeah,
Be
because
like,
Joker is chaos.
yeah.
He had to work with him to get out of Arkham, and then when Slade shows up, he's like, "Oh, you're looking for another clown for the circus?"
Yeah.
So he went to Joker before he went to Slade.
He probably
Yeah.
told Joker who Batman was too.
Yeah, but Joker wouldn't want to listen to that. He hates that. It
Doesn't
ruins
care.
the game.
Yeah.
Plus, he already knows.
Yeah.
Fair.
Now, when they had the obvious lead up to Injustice after credits looking scene, who was it again that said? I think it was Mira that told Batman, you don't know what it's like to lose someone you have," and I'm like, you have you not talked to him at all? I mean, outside of his parents, like he's working with a guy who killed, one of his Robins. Like that seemed like a really dumb line because the implication of that scene is that they've been working together for like at least a little bit, because like the fact that Deathstroke is working with them, like they seemed pretty calm, for being around each other. There's no way she doesn't know that Batman's lost somebody. I mean, at the very least, he's talking about Alfred being gone because Alfred's probably dead in that timeline.
Oh, well, yeah.
So that line was very stupid and selfish of her. But then again, it's Amber Heard, so to be expected. But yeah, it was weird, and I wonder why they think they need the Joker, because he's not going to be helpful.
It's better than
We're never gonna know.
Huh?
We're never gonna know.
Joker.
Wait, what?
Cedric?
Yeah. No, I'm waiting. I'm letting you go.
What?
I said you can go.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't have anything to say. I just couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Oh. No, I said it was better than the Suicide Squad Joker.
Oh yes. Suicide Squad. Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah.
It does suck. But yeah, that just seemed weird that he felt that he needed him for something. But I do like how they're going the Injustice route. That Superman has one bad thing happen to him, and then he immediately decides to go Super Hitler. But it's it is what it is. It's the truest incarnation of his character, as you all know. So
Except for it's not. But okay.
It is forever. So yeah. But all in all, it was better, but it did need to be that long, guys.
If there was a year in between, I think it's a different story.
Yeah.
But
Could get a
that's
year.
not that wasn't. Oh wait, what did you guys? Last thing though, what did you guys think about that aspect ratio though? Did you guys like it?
I was fine with it.
Yeah, after like the first couple of minutes, I stopped noticing
Bunch of weirdos.
it.
Yeah.
If I watched it on an old TV, it'd been fine. But I did not pay all this dang money for all that screen to just be black.
Uh,
It's like, come on. Like, I wonder, does that have to be in the theaters too?
it's IMAX.
Probably.
Right? Yeah. It's IMAX.
Ugh, awful, just awful. But it's better than what we got though. But now here's the thing though. Do you guys think that DC is going to let him continue his universe?
Nope.
Maybe.
All right, Walter, why you think no?
Because okay, even though this is a much better Justice League than the original, or than the one that was released before, and even though like there was so much fan support to get this out, Warner Brothers executives love to fail.
Yep.
So the moment they see that this worked out and that they're going to make money off of it, they will immediately put Zack Snyder back in command and then say, "But you can't do anything that got you here." Or they'll say, "Hey, Joss Whedon, come and do your version of the sequels of this." But what they're not going to do is direct sequels to what we just saw.
Now, do you guys think if they continue with the Snyder universe, do you think they can compete with the MCU?
Well, that's why I said maybe they'll let him continue, because there's rumors they're going to let HBO Max be like Disney Plus, where they put out DC shows. I mean, Titans and that other team that Beast Boy came from. They're on HBO Max. But if they let Snyder do like TV, then he can have his 6-hour movie because it's spaced out over 6 episodes. So if they let him do that, I think that would work. But that's only if they let HBO Max do the DC stuff.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to see him continue it. I kind of part of me wants to see the Injustice timeline because Superman in his truest form. But yeah, I don't think they're going to continue that. I mean, there's too many problems with it. Like on top of it, his issues like Amber Heard's gone. Like I think Ezra Miller, I think he's not going to be back because of the issue that he's had lately. Like losing key people. People hate Lex Luthor. This version, it might be better just to start over again. Now, what they could always do though is they can continue with a brand new universe, and then they can bring the Snyder people over to that universe because DC's all about multiverse. Like I do think it would be cool that even if you move on, like let's say if you use Twinkle Vampires Batman as like the start of a new DC universe, you could always bring over Henry Cavill and them. Just say Earth 2 or something,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm more interested in seeing what they do going forward because like they've got other things that are going for them. Like Shazam was good. I think Shazam could be, a good thing moving forward. It's happy, it's upbeat, it's inspiring. It made sense. It wasn't too long. Good things. I don't know if they're going to keep doing Snyderverse things. This seems like it's too big and too unwieldy to do on a regular basis.
Well, think about WB though. The only good things they have done in recent memory is Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. That's it.
Shazam was good.
Well, I mean, like things that have staying power and made lots of money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Who did Twilight?
Some
Was that them? No, I don't know.
I don't
know
know.
who did them.
It was a mistake.
It made a lot of money though.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake, but it made a lot of money. It made more money than it should have.
That's because they were depending on girls with no taste in movies.
Like my sister. I hated that whole thing. But hey, he's gonna be Batman though, so
Yeah, he's a good actor. So
he looks like his Batman looks convincing.
Year one Batman,
the mask.
Yeah. Huh?
I hate the mask. I hate the mask.
Maybe you like it more in the film.
It's year one.
Probably not.
Walter, remember how I felt about Grant Gustin? How I was like, nah, this is not my Flash. And then like 2 seconds in, when he was like, my name is Barry Allen, the fastest man alive, and I'm like, I believe you. You know? like you proved me wrong. I hashtag you are my Flash. And then I saw, I mean, you don't know, you might like it. You can be proven
possibly
wrong. And maybe it changes by the end of the movie too.
Yeah.
So there's hope. Give things a chance. Like I gave Snyder 4 hours of my life to do.
4 hours and 2 minutes.
The 2 minutes were the parts I was the most mad at. It's so much
goodness.
No.
Grinding goodness.
It's just I don't know, man. There's some things that just felt weird about this, but it's out. Okay, it happened. The Snyder Cuts exist. People got what they wanted. Now we can move on to other DC things, hopefully.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Marvel's moving on to like their 18th minor B-side character spinoff series that's going to be a hit. they're just not even thinking about DC right now.
DC might have that though with James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. That might be the revitalization of the DC verse.
We shall see.
We'll see. I mean, what?
Oh, I said I like James Gunn. He did Guardians.
Yeah, I like James Gunn's movies. He's a great movie maker, but I don't know. Like I feel like to a certain degree they've let so many other directors and writers screw with the DC universe and do it wrong that asking someone to come in and fix it is almost futile. I think that they should just junk the whole thing and start over.
They should.
Well, no, that's the thing. I don't think they are expecting the Suicide Squad to do anything. I think they just gave James Gunn the let him off the loose or let him off the chain because John Cena and Nathan Fillion are playing minor roles, and those guys cost a lot of money. So
now what would be great is if Suicide Squad ends up being like a quest to like save the world from I don't know something like cataclysmic, right? And then what if they fail and the whole universe gets destroyed, right? And then there's black, just nothing. And then you see a bright blue energy hand make a new universe. And it's Dr. Manhattan. And he makes a brand new DC universe. And then we start over. We just erase it. Just wipe it all away.
Oh, and come back with the darkest timeline?
As long as it's a good set of movies. Yes. They need a shot to be coherent. But
it needs something.
Yeah, it's not like they're over here trying, and Marvel's just out here just literally at this point burning money for no reason. They're just like, you know what? Falcon gets a show. Yeah, he gets a show. Next group, you getting the show. No subtitles. And then eventually, dude, there's talk of Jimmy Woo getting the show.
Jimmy Woo should get a show.
He should get a show. It'd be hilarious. See, Walter, that's how much better Marvel is than DC at movies. That even minor background characters that were part of one movie one time have fans now. Phil Coulson got a show. He had like what 8 seasons of Agents of Shield,
and he was dead.
Yeah. So I mean, like Marvel out here just killing it, and like, well, one of the things that I told Cedric that I find astounding is that Marvel took a bunch of B-listers that only comic book fans knew about and turned them into the highest grossing movie franchise in human history. And then DC took the most recognizable heroes on the planet, Superman being the second most recognized person behind Jesus, and made them into aggressive mediocrity. Like, that is something that deserves an entire board being let go.
I would agree with that.
This is America.
It's like there's no way you have that much of a head start and lose it. And if you wanted to jump to a team movie, then they should have just made a live action version of Justice League War when the League kind of forms to fight Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because people know the backstories already. You could have skipped it because that's how well known they are.
Yeah.
Plus, we could have got that scene of Hal Jordan telling Batman, "I'll handle this," and then going after Superman, and then Superman's like, "Dude, bro, like what? Like you're not even the best Lantern on this planet." Like, So like there were much better options, and they flubbed it, Walter. They had gold and turned it into bronze. Meanwhile, Marvel was over here dealing with paper that was already ripped and given them other studios, and they made it into gold, which is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. DC or Warner Bros. Needs to fire everybody and start over because nobody who's involved there right now is doing a good job. Even Patty Jenkins, who I was happy with after Wonder Woman 1, royally screwed up on Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah, okay, so here's the problem with that. They let her write the movie.
Yeah. Well, her and Jeff Johns.
Yeah, okay, but she had way too much input there. And then it became some kind of it was supposed to be some kind of weird girl power movie, but like it starts off with the Wonder Woman's been moping for 80 years. So I mean, there's no girl power in that.
No.
Well, she's a girl and she has powers. So,
but to be fair though, Walter, I don't really blame her for moping for that long, because if you're an immortal and like you really have a good connection with somebody and then they're just gone like 5 seconds later, you're like, dang, I gotta live for eternity now, and I just gotta hold that L. Like, Walter, eternity is a long time to hold an L.
That's true.
That's hard. So I imagine that losing things that they really care about would be different. Plus she's only 5,000 years old, Walter. That's probably teenage for her. Realistically, like looking at her lifespan. So I don't really hold that too much against her, but that movie was trash, and I was mad. I paid for that day one. I was hyped. I was like, "Yo, Wonder Woman 1 was great. This is gonna be great too," and it was awful. And something I was telling her, I wanted to like this movie, Walter. I really did. And it takes a special kind of director to make someone who really wants to like your work hate it, or at the very least, not be impressed.
That's true.
I was giving him every benefit of the doubt. I'm like, it's gonna be great. This is the Snyder cut. It's gonna be the best version that we didn't get. Yeah. By the time it was 4 a.m., I was like, man, well, that was 4 hours of my life.
Yeah, see, and I told you I walked in without any kind of expectations whatsoever, because remember, Man of Steel was the movie for me. That was it. That was like, Superman is being rebooted. They're doing it with an action director. Like I was ready. And then I got Brightburn.
But the fight looked cool.
Yeah, the fight looked great. And as Superman, killed half of the city. So,
I was
like, after that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to watch these movies with my brain turned off and then hope I enjoy them. So then when the Snyder Cut came out, I had no expectations. I was just like, I just want to see something better than what I got. And I got that. So I was okay.
Yep.
That's so sad that the bar was like, hey, is it not 0? Perfect, I'm in. It's
Yeah.
not. See, I've grown accustomed to things being perfectly balanced as all things should be. My tastes are a little higher, but I guess it is perfectly balanced. DC sucks and Marvel's doing great. So
Well,
yeah,
Disney lets Marvel, do what they want to do. Warner Brothers wants to rein in DC.
yeah, that is a problem. Like Marvel was smart with giving Kevin Feige just control over everything Marvel. Hey, you know what? Just go ahead, because like the TV universe needed to be reined in.
I mean, bad decision with Kathleen Kennedy, but Feige was good.
Yeah, Kevin Kennedy. Yeah, that's I don't know how you take the most valuable movie franchise of all time and then make it just trash. You just destroy it. Kathleen, we see you. but yeah, no, DC needs a guy to just or just somebody to watch over the whole thing. Like, and I thought that's what they were going to do with Jeff Johns coming on board, but then like they gave him the boot so quickly.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's because the bean counters at Warner Brothers, um, they understand that they have the most famous superheroes of all time. So they immediately thought that they would make the first movie and make $1 billion, and that's not how it happened. I mean, like even with Marvel, if you take the first Captain America movie, and or the first, like even the first couple of Hulk movies, the second Hulk movie only made like $430 million, and those are that's really the beginning of the Marvel universe. Is that first Hulk movie? So
Late.
yeah, so it yeah, but this Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Oh.
the beginning of it is the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. So you take that, it only made like $430 million. So you take the beginning of the DC Cinematic Universe, which is Superman, which is Man of Steel, it made like $750 million. So if you compared them that way, the DC Universe was actually doing better. But what they did was came in the middle of Marvel making billions and decided they should make billions too. They didn't build anything. They just wanted to do it. And then they have no patience because they think they should just immediately be where Marvel is. Marvel built their audience. DC is just trying to take their thunder, and it doesn't work.
right. And Marvel had to build it with B-listers because they had sold all the A-listers.
And not only that, they made plebs know who Captain America was, know who Iron Man was,
Groot.
know who Man was.
Yeah, people know who Groot is. They know who Rocket Raccoon is. They know all these minor characters,
Yep.
But they earned that. They built that. And DC, they should have, if they really wanted to catch up that quick, they should have started with Justice League War and then go and branch from there into individual movies. And just start with the Dark Side saga,
They
But
should have. They didn't.
it's bad. And I don't understand how you dominate animation, have these great stories, have literally storyboards just done to tell you how to get success, and then not win. it's mind-boggling. Truth be told, it's mind-boggling how they found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
I mean, did you guys see the Reign of the Superman movie?
Yeah.
I have not. Was it good?
It's great,
Yeah.
but
Is it on
it kind
HBO
of
Max?
I think it might be actually.
Yeah, it is. I think it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Like the Death of Superman and the Reign of the Superman, I think are both there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
so you should be able to watch them. But that kind of goes to what you were just saying. Okay, with the animated movies, Superman fights Doomsday, he dies. You actually get the whole Justice League in there in the Doomsday fight. Superman sacrifices his life, and then it goes to the Reign of the Superman, where they introduce Superboy and the Cyborg Superman and the Eradicator and John Henry Irons. You get none of that. with this. Superman just randomly dies, just arbitrarily dies, fighting not even real Doomsday, but like General Zod, who's been amped up. And then Darkseid shows up, and he's not really a real threat, except I mean, not when Superman's around. But you like, there's so many beats to the world that were built in comic books and in the animated series, and then in the animated movies, that they just skip completely over because they don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Snyder just doesn't understand the DC universe. I think he's better kept to things like Watchmen, a self-contained thing that he could master in a weekend. Basically, you're not gonna master understanding the DC universe in a weekend. That's gonna take dedication.
But he needs something that's going to be where you can look into things and, oh, there's deeper meaning in this shot because of the rain was purple in October.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the Snyder cut. Let us know.
For everybody who's listening, even though we just ripped this apart, I actually did like this movie. And I know it did sound like I did when we were talking. I actually did like this movie, but it's got a lot of problems.
It does, and with it being that long, you have a long time to think about all these problems. But I'm curious to see what you guys think down in the comments. That should be interesting. And then come back next week. We're gonna talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2, and then hopefully by the time this month is over, we'll be talking about Kong versus Godzilla. Which, by the way, just quick survey. Who do you think is better?
Godzilla.
Okay, well, you guys are both dumb. Okay, because Kong has thumbs and has tools, and it was already
eyes him for the movie.
Well, no, remember, we saw him as a children. Now he's a slightly older children. And we already saw that he has a way to deal with the atomic breath. So there's that. And he's more mobile, and he's smarter, and can communicate. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how it goes. Now, because of where I work, I kind of had everything spoiled for me already, so I will not say anything till we watch the movie. But I'm just saying, I like Kong. He has hands. Okay.
Godzilla has hands.
He can't use tools, Walter. Godzilla.
He has atomic
Godzilla
breath.
doesn't need tools.
He does.
Godzilla is Godzilla.
In that trailer, King Kong just ran right through with that axe that he made, which I won't say what the axe is made of. No. But that's a spoiler. But he has his answer for the atomic breath, and there's one part where you see him like on the building, just like moving on top. Like he's able to navigate. He's faster. It just makes more sense that he's going to beat him. Like Godzilla's best chance to beat Kong would be in the water, like that. Like that's where he'd have his best chance. But on land, nah.
This Kong because they supersized him.
Well, because it's all the monsters in this universe. They all have like a similar thing. They're no longer from two separate universes. So they're now one thing, and they're just going to keep growing and growing, and be ridiculously huge. Like I think this is outside of Godzilla Earth. This is actually I think one of the bigger Godzillas that we've ever had as well. Like yeah. So he's also been sized up too, but I really think that Kong's got a lot of advantages compared to big old slow Godzilla.
But the thing is like Godzilla isn't slow.
He's slow compared to King Kong. You saw that trailer, how he was traversing the city.
I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing Godzilla wreck King Kong.
Well, it's not gonna happen. But the only way that I know for sure that there isn't going to be a definitive winner is because Toho would never allow Godzilla to lose, even if it made total sense. Like they could have Godzilla versus Superman. Like yes, Godzilla still he still hangs in there, and you can be like, No, he doesn't. Superman throws him into space. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. He's fine. He somehow stays in there.
They become friends.
Yeah. Now I believe in the original King Kong versus Godzilla or King Kong won. So
No,
No.
they end up in the
or they
ocean,
become
and
friends,
then
right? Or they go to
no,
separate ways
no,
or something.
they fight, and then Godzilla and King Kong end up in the ocean, and
Mhm.
then King Kong stands up and walks away, and they even in the like voiceover they're saying they're not really sure what happened. Godzilla just doesn't come up, and
That's
King Kong leaves.
yeah. But
So
it'll be interesting. But yeah, I like the fact that he can use tools. Also. Thumbs are a plus. I mean, the
Godzilla has
pinnacle of
thumbs.
no, stop it.
He does.
He got weird
Godzilla has
little
thumbs.
Walter. He has a big head and tiny arms. Okay, he's so awkward. All right, he's so weird.
Godzilla is the king of monsters.
No, and that's
Yep.
debatable right now because there's currently two kings standing up in this movie. All right, we'll see. And plus we all know King Ghidorah is he's coming back at the very least as Mecha King Ghidorah. So the king title it has not been settled just yet, but it will be interesting to see how they justify it. I mean, I know how it does it, but I can't tell you. I can tell you after we're done recording though, if you want.
No.
I'm gonna tell you after this. Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it for you. Yeah, I had it ruined for me horribly. They had no regard for if I wanted to watch it or not. And he was like, "Yeah, so this is what happens."
Yep.
I'm like, "You guys suck." But anyways, guys, catch you guys next week. We're gonna try and be back and be regular because it's been a minute. But we had some time off during the apocalypse, so we're recharged and good to go. But anyways, till next time, guys. We've been your host, Kirby Kid.
Like Superman.
Simply Cedric.
Hands are better than not having hands. See you later, guys.